To members of the high table, our chairman, our consultant, our launcher, the CD of BBC Media Action, distinguished guests, colleagues, all station managers here present, partners. Good morning, everyone. I'll try to be very short because today is Friday, and so we don't want this event to be too long. You know, some people have to go for Juma. Alright, so I'm pleased this morning to be here as we launch this new governance program, People in Power. For me and the entire team at IIN, this is an exciting moment. One that moves us from planning into action. We've been planning, we've been engaging, we've been working behind the scenes, but at least we've come to a point where we can see something that has been completed. Starting the first week of November, next week to be precise, People in Power will go on air. Starting from Monday at 7 p.m. and on other days during the week across our network of radio stations in every district. So People in Power will be at every district. And something I would like you to also know is that this particular project, we have only 12 stations working on this particular project because we have a membership of about 60 radio stations or more. But then we couldn't engage all the radio stations because of the limited funds available. So we had to go through lots of scrutiny, applications, evaluations for us to arrive at the 12 radio stations that are working on this project. But the good news is, other radio stations that are part of the network who are not part of the 12 radio stations have opted to air the program. Isn't that a good place for you to appreciate them? You need to clap for them. Yeah. Even though they are not direct beneficiaries of the project, but they are willingly committed themselves to air the program. So I think that's something we should commend, and I must say they've done it willingly, so we appreciate that. And of course, we'll put together all the schedules and we'll share that, so at least people will know in each district which radio station is airing and at what time. We'll definitely make that known to all of you. In addition to the radio broadcast, the program will be available online via podcast platforms with short video clips shared on social media. This way, we're meeting the people wherever they are, at home with their radios or online and on their phones, on computers. When this idea was first discussed, our goal was simple: to create a program that connects people and power. A space where citizens can better understand how decisions are made and where leaders can listen to the people they serve. The media project's goal of producing governance-focused content that promotes public interest media aligns with IRN's strategic priority 1, which is creating exceptional content and empowers citizens, fosters engagement, and strengthens democratic participation. Behind what you'll soon hear on air is a story of collaboration. Producers, presenters, and reporters from different parts of the country have worked together, shared ideas, and built one strong team with a no-nonsense executive producer, our consultant, Mr. Omar Fofana. Thanks for pushing the team and getting the best out of them. We are proud that this project also marks another milestone in IRN's journey. A gradual transition from being a purely radio-based network to a multimedia content hub. This program is helping us build new skills in digital production and storytelling, which are essential for the future. You will notice that we still keep radio as part of the description of the program. That's deliberate. We want to honor the heritage of radio as Sierra Leone's most trusted and accessible medium, even as we expand digitally to reach wider audience. It's a radio program with a digital presence, bridging traditional and new media to deepen civic engagement nationwide. Some people may ask, why still focus on radio when everyone is online? The truth is, while internet access is growing, radio remains the most widespread and reliable source of information in Sierra Leone, especially in rural areas, where online access is still limited. Millions of Sierra Leoneans listen to radio daily, while only a smaller portion of the population regularly uses the internet. So by combining the strength of radio with the growing reach of digital platforms, People Empower ensures that no one is left behind. We will keep improving, enhancing studio quality, storytelling, and ensuring the program is inclusive of women, youth, and persons with disabilities, so the voices you hear truly reflect our nation. To our production team, I want to say thank you. Many of you have put in long hours of work and you've worked under pressure, yet you've shown remarkable dedication. To our development partners, BBC Media Action and the European Union, thank you for trusting IRN with this mandate to bring governance closer to the people. You haven't just supported a radio program, you've strengthened a platform for citizen engagement and accountability. To our listeners across Sierra Leone, this program is for you. We hope you'll tune in and ask questions, share feedback, and participate. Governance and development are not things done to people. They are things we build with people. In closing, launching People Empower is more than introducing a new program. It is about deepening the connection between citizens and decision makers, giving communities a stronger voice and a greater clarity. With the strength of radio and the reach of digital media, I believe we have a solid foundation to make a lasting impact. On behalf of the IRN team, thank you to everyone who has walked this journey with us. Let's make People Empower a true voice of the people, a program that informs, inspires, and connects. God bless you all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wright. You know, Mr. Wright had been telling Omar this morning, saying, you know, the true definition of no pressure. You're just this calm person, even when you speak. Me, Omar will just laugh like, Mr. Wright, nothing on his stressor. Anyways, what's more powerful than combining traditional media and digital media? And all of the content, as he has explained, it's not only going to be on the local community radio stations, but online too. So if you are not able to listen, you might as well just go online to check. Now, as we move with the program, we are at the stage now where I'm called We Know Nonsense, as called by the We Know Nonsense consultant, the executive producer. If not lie, ask Patsy or ask Jackson. I said, Jackson, why you smile? Smile. Jackson. Anyways, but I think this is Umar Fofana is a combination of professionalism, a kind of, but a very steeped hand. And We're learning a lot from him. So let's welcome him as he comes.
The good thing is, from T to T, from Taylor to Tucker. So still going to call it ET. Thank you, Stina. Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited that at last we are having this program rolling. As you heard from Mr. Wright, on Monday, it will be on air. So I'm here to tell you about the quick production work that we'll be putting into this. It's been very tough, I'm going to tell you. But the good thing is already we have almost 5 programs ready to go on air. We decided to do it the real way, not to wait until the airtime was here before putting the program together. And IRN, like Ransford Wright has told you, has sort of like found a way of setting an example, I think, for even our political leaders, that democracy is not just about elections. It's way more than elections. When you hear the IRN signature tune, what that conjures up in your mind is what? Election, vote counting, and all the rest of it. But there's a very long period between elections, or within the election cycle. So it's a good thing that they are thinking about putting this program together. And thank you, Mr. Gideon, thank you, Robert Gideon, for making it happen. But between elections, there are so many things that could go wrong, and so many problems that can be fixed. I've said this story before, and I'm going to tell you again. It's a reality. I think it happened 13 years ago. And it's the power of thinking solutions to problems. If you go to Lumley, we used to have a great lock of traffic at Lumley. It took just somebody who sat down, or maybe a group of police officers, who sat down and said, let's find a solution to this problem. And they stopped all the kekes from going through. The problem was fixed. Solution. The German pilot was flying a Lufthansa plane from Egypt to Germany, I think 13 years ago or so. And the plane crashed, was deliberately brought down. Obviously, everybody died. They went to the black pit, the cockpit voice recorder, the black box, and they realized that the co-pilot was outside the cockpit, leaving only one pilot inside the cockpit, who pressed the descent button to crash the plane. The Northern Akolu, there's no first solution. From then on, they agreed that there must never be a time when only one pilot will be left in the cockpit. So what did they do? They introduced a third pilot on planes. So if one comes, 2 go inside. If you want to put the plane on, you want to feta, not put it. Our problems can be solved. And what we plan to do with this program is to challenge the duty bearers and to also let the ordinary people have their say. It's amazing and shocking in equal measure when we sought to do our tripartite episode that some people actually believed that on a certain date, Marabi was going to hand over to Samura Kamara. Yes. And they had prepared their assurees. I saw one myself. Because some guys had gone and created impressions of something that never existed. So what we plan to do with this program is to ensure that that vacuum in terms of information dissemination is filled. We assume sometimes that people are well informed because of social media. Not necessarily. There's a lot of vacuum in terms of what people need to understand or know and what they really desire or want to know. People like entertainment, but is that what is really good for them? More than the power of knowledge? I would definitely say no. Now, we have been very tough on ourselves. And I've said to my team, very committed guys who've got something else to do. And sometimes I have to keep reminding myself, oh, take it easy, they've got something else. Some of them are studying, some of them are working elsewhere. Because I've combined humor with a strong sense of sternness. And I think the work ethic in Sierra Leone, people say, is very poor. But I can assure that these guys have been able to do a lot of things. All they needed was somebody to show them that you can do it. Here is the way to do it. We've had to redo interviews. I've said, this interview is not good enough. Let's do it again. Either because of technical issues I don't believe that people should be listening to radio with a screeching sound coming out of the audio. It should be clean. It's FM. It's quality sound. So don't go and do a horrid interview with all the wrong technical, consequences, and then you expect to put it on air. No. I've said to them, let's go and do this interview again. But we've interviewed people who have not given their best. I've said, no, you know what, my friend, we're going to do that interview again with you. Because what the people need to know was not what really said. What the truth was not what came out. And what the facts were did not actually come out. So let's do it again. We are basically doing what every radio station ought to have been doing in Sierra Leone. But for some reasons, they have not been able to do. Now, governance issues are clouded in a thick forest. So we go to that forest and bring them out. And the way we bring that is through consultation. Even the name, People and Power, nobody went there and imposed on anybody. We actually met and we discussed. They came up with more than 20 names for the program. We eliminated one after the other. That's my style of leading. Let's have it consensually. We eliminated until in the end, we agreed to this name. And we thought that it's a very powerful name that talks about the people and the duty bearers, those who hold power. And that's exactly what we plan to do. On every program, we intend to have ordinary voices. Ordinary voices. Not just government people telling us ABCD. And I think our biggest strength is a combination of the brand of Omar Rufufana and the brand of IRA. These are two very powerful brands in media and Sierra Leone. So being able to have access everywhere. We've called, everyone we've called so far has obliged themselves to grant us an interview. And I think that is our power which we plan to use. You never know. Maybe by December or January we'll go for Marabio and Samara Kamara and have them on our program and challenge them on certain governance issues. Who knows? BBC and IRN agree, but we'll even do a road show. Take one government, one leader to a community where people have a serious governance issue and let them talk to the community. Answer questions from them. We don't have road shows anymore in our radio stations. I understand the funding challenges, but there's a lot we can do. If I, for example, was a manager of radio in Kabbalah, I would not need a lot of money to have the deal in a town hall in Kabbalah. That doesn't take much money. We'll get as possible to make job for the people that they can eat. We should be doing that. Bring these leaders down to talk to the people. That's why they are there. There's a book called Hiding from the People. We should read it. When it's election time, they're coming around, all their windows are open. After they vote for another, they didn't shut the windows and now when they pass that place, you don't get to talk to them. And we feel that's why we're going to serve as a conduit between the people and our leaders. And one last thing I would say before I sit down before Mrs. Tucker comes beckoning is the fact that, like Ransford said, it's interesting, it's amazing, it's so heartening when you go to villages, you visit farms, and you meet farmers with their radio tuned to the local radio station there, listening. Or they even walk into the farm, they get a radio on their ears so they can listen. That is so powerful. It tells you what radio means. Social media would find it very difficult to keep radio. On the contrary, my wife listens to local radio stations on Facebook. Because a lot of the radio stations are on Facebook. You do your Facebook Live. So you can't take radio out. But internet penetration is a challenge. But even where you have internet penetration, affordability is another wahala. So radio remains that medium with which you can reach people in this country virtually in every corner. And that vacuum that exists in terms of the governance program, holding them accountable, letting them know what the people really feel about what is happening, is what we plan to do. We interviewed anti-corruption boss, was it this week or last week? On Friday, last week. And the thing is, so this week on Monday, it's amazing the things that they said. But it's also amazing the reaction from ordinary people in Calown, in McKinney, to the simple question, what do you think about corruption has happened? You must hear them. You definitely must hear them. That's what we want to do. Let the ordinary guys in areas where they will ordinarily not be heard nationally, be heard nationally and on social media globally. and let those who sit down in Freetown making policies and believing that everything is hunky-dory know that is not what the ordinary people down there feel about what they're doing. But if you listen to the data of the ACC course, you would understand the meaning of the word frustration. To the point that he even wishes that corruption would carry the death penalty. That, to my reading, tells you that the man is really frustrated. That culturally we are becoming endemically corrupt. You give people positions, they don't think about their salary, they better than that. It's so sad. Sometimes we laugh about this, but it is very sad. And you, the journalists, I said this in Makini many years ago. When you sit down, you cancel long, you don't go build and you have money for the one clinic. They're not building the clinic better. The store, the pharmacy and the clinic, the books, alpha parents inside it. And you knew that a huge amount of money had been given towards stocking that pharmacy. You went there to find out. The council chair or mayor compromised you financially. Fast forward a few months later, your child fell sick at night, you took your child to that clinic, there was no medicine, your child died, you contributed to killing your child. Let us ask ourselves as journalists, are we being fair to the people of Sierra Leone in terms of the stories we tell? Or are we being overly influenced by political preferences? For what? For information attaché position? For deputy ministerial position? For what? There's a lot we have to do. What we aim to do with this program is just minuscule. But hopefully, it will break the consciences of all the media houses to ask themselves the question, are we being fair to our audience? Thank you very much.
You know, from Jackson, please go this interview at 10 o'clock. To Tiana, they give me pleasure. Tiana, if you don't go, check up Tiana. And to Christina, please, I want my script recording at 1:30 exact. From that on, it has been a journey. Just doing the 5 episodes, you would know that we put our sweat, tears, and everything in the production. When you see real production, you would know. But when you would know is when you meet Mo Fofana. When he wear that in shine boots, he make us so. Say, we dey go interview at 10:30. In work on our way. You don't ever see executive producer when they work out with the producer, they on our way. Look at this. Anyways, thank you very much. It has been an honor to do this People in Power. Because where I'm coming from, working for BBC Media Action years back, this is what I used to do. Holding people into account. And what you mentioned about going into communities, taking leaders to these communities to host board shows and to host outside broadcast union is something that is really key. It's not only calling the guests, calling people within a power to say, oh, let's come and talk. It's also talking to the ones who would normally get ignored. And that is real people and power. So I don't know if the technical person, if we want to forget a short, before we go to the board member, or short clip of the program, both the radio and the one we did online. Alright, let me wait for that. Alright, okay, well, we go wait for that. Well, it's you a black or share because we pape kilo kola black. That video is for quarter. In a quarter. Anyways, so now I'd like to call the board member, the board chair, the board chair of IRN. This now we own Papinian, not the media. We own Boston. I'd like to call Mr. Andrew Cromer to make a statement on behalf of the IRN board. Let's put our hands together for him.
I didn't know you loved me that much. Usually call me the old puppy. I refuse to get old. I have a very special message for you from the BBC to say that IRN is prepared and committed to work in the BBC elaborate, complex task. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, distinguished guests, partners, colleagues, and Friends of the Independent Radio Network, nationally called the IRN. It is an honor to join you this morning for the launching of People in Power, a program that reflects what IRN truly stands for, that's giving voice to the people. This initiative comes at a time when citizens are asking for more information, more accountability, and more opportunities to take part in the governance of our country's Sierra Leone. Through this program, we want to help bridge the gap, bringing the people closer to those who make decisions on their behalf. For us at IRN, radio has always been more than sound waves. It is a bridge between leaders and citizens, a channel for dialogue, and a platform for truth. And I spell it Truth. People in Power is designed to keep that bridge strong and even stronger, using honest, fact-based, and inclusive conversations to strengthen our democracy. The Independent Radio Network IRN was established with a focus on elections coverage. But over the years, we have evolved into much more than that. Today, IRN stands as a cornerstone in Sierra Leone's democratic journey, a journey just described by my coordinator, Ransford Wright. From covering elections and promoting civic participation to leading nationwide sensitization efforts during the Ebola outbreak, the Freetown mudslide, and the COVID-19 pandemic, IRN has consistently stood with the people of Sierra Leone through moments of challenge and change. Our commitment remains unwavering, and that's for sure, to serve and meet the information needs of citizens across the nation, from Freetown to Kailam, from Kamakwe to Bont. We will continue to ensure that people in every corner of the country have access to reliable, relevant, and timely information that empowers them to make informed decisions, which is what you guys and ladies are here for as journalists. Let me take this moment to thank BBC Media Action and the European Union for their partnership and confidence in IRN. Your support makes this possible for us to continue empowering communities through responsible journalism. Of course, most of my friends are journalists, yet I envy them. I'm not a journalist. I wish one day I would. To our dedicated producers and presenters here, can you please stand up so that we can see you, our producers? You've been mentioned. Please stand up. You're proud. You're proud of you. Please stand up. Let's give these people an applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They've done extremely well under the leadership of my colleague, my one and only journalist, Omar Fofana. I urge you to keep the stories real, relatable, and rooted in the everyday experiences of our people. Let this program truly reflect the hopes, struggles, and ideals of ordinary Sierra Leoneans. And on behalf of the IRN board, I congratulate the entire team for making this possible. Together, let us ensure that People in Power lives up to the name by putting power in the hands of the people. I thank you all, and God bless you all.
The community radio stations there. I'm also ready to clap for the board member. Who can clap better? Anyways, thank you very much, Mr. Koma. And what else can you expect from a well-recognized brand? A brand that has stood the test of time over the years. Now, ideally, we would have called the EU representative to make a statement, but in the absence of the EU representative, I want to call the statement and official launch of the program. So we want to move from statement and official launch of the program. And I want to call someone that's dear to my heart, someone that we look up to when it comes to fighting for equality, fighting for parity, fighting for women's rights. Is someone we look up to on a daily basis, someone that we want to listen to when she speaks. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Friendly Mokumo, President of 50/50 Group in Sierra Leone and Associate Professor of Sultan Hall University. Dr. Mokumo is a distinguished scholar and advocate for inclusive governance, gender equality, or gender equity, and democratic accountability. Her work reach academic research and policy reforms with a strong focus on empowering citizens and strengthening institutions. Today, she joins us to officially launch the Governance Radio Program, an initiative aimed to deepen public understanding of governance processes and promoting civic engagement across Sierra Leone. Please let us welcome her again as she launches.
Thank you, Tiana. You're a journalist for two. Thank you for those very kind words. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, colleagues, members of the media, fellow citizens. I just really want to say thank you to Tiana for that very kind and generous introduction. Christina. Oh, no, Christina and Taylor as well is in my head, so it's all this. But thank you, Christina. So for me, it is truly an honor to be asked to be here. It's a privilege, I don't take it lightly, to launch a program when you hear people at power, it's a name that the very name tells us, it reminds us, where does true power lie? True power lies in the hands of people. It lies in the hands of citizens. It lies in the hands of you and I. And we have the obligation to hold those who are in government accountable. As was said earlier, the media is a very important source of information for Sierra Leone. We did the Afrobarometer, IGR did the Afrobarometer research in March and April of this year. And we saw 2/3 of citizens that said that they get their news from radio either every day, a few times a week, or a few times a month. One quarter say they get it daily. This is more than any other media source. How many people have televisions, if lights in? How many people are literate enough to read the newspapers? But radio, as long as you have a radio set, you have access to the news. Even there, we have to say it, there is gender imbalance because more men than women have access to radio. So you also see that this is something we have to push. In as much as radio is widespread, we need to remember, let's also make sure women, girls have access to radio as well. Now, radio is not just a source of information, as I think we've heard already today. When you think of the radio, it provides citizens an outlet to feedback as well. And so that's exactly what Mr. Fofana was talking about, how this gives you the opportunity and a platform to also speak truth to power. When we talk about good governance, it's not just about our leaders making decisions, it's about making sure that we have spaces and systems where citizens can participate in meaningfully shaping the decisions that affect their lives. So it's not decisions coming from above to us who are just receiving it, but it's us having the opportunity to work hand in hand, side by side, to make sure that these laws are reflective of the things that we want, and to make sure that if they're not reflective of the things that we want, that we get them to change it so that it meets the needs that we have. So when you talk about governance and the co-creation of governance, it is something that should be done between citizens, between communities, the private sector, and the media to make sure that the public institutions that we see serve with transparency, they serve with integrity, and they serve with fairness. Notice we normally talk this, right? Citizens agree. We have, again, going back to AB data, nearly 6 in 10 Sierra Leoneans say the media should have the right to publish any view that it has, any ideas, without government control. This is compared to 40% that say government should have the right to prevent the media from publishing things it disapproves of. So given that the majority of citizens want the media to publish things that are crucial, things around corruption, things that can change the way the country is governed, I want to highlight the crucial role that the media then plays in strengthening democracy. A free, responsible, and independent media is not just a channel for information. It is a pillar of accountability. And again, our citizens agree. Nearly 7 in 10, 69% of Sierra Leoneans say that the media should constantly investigate and report on government mistakes and corruption. So this People in Power is perfect. It is just in line with what citizens are yearning for, citizens are crying for, citizens are asking for. Through investigative reporting, through community radio, through digital storytelling, the media can make sure that citizens' voices are amplified, they are raised up, that corruption is exposed, that transparency is brought about to all the governance processes that we see. But I think we need to also go beyond the watchdog approach. In addition to being a watchdog, the media can help us to understand one another. I'm sure that we all think that is faulty. We are hearing all the time about increasing divisions, about ethno-regional divisions. Yet the media can help us to understand our divisions, to bridge those divides, the things that divide us artificially, to explain complex policies, so policies on high, let us understand, you better make it down so the ordinary person can understand, and to give people the knowledge and information that they need so that they can participate meaningfully in public life. So the People in Power program is more than advocacy, it's more than training, it's about how do we reimagine governance as a collective effort. It tries to strengthen, and it will, I wouldn't even say it attempts, it seeks and will strengthen the bridge between citizens and the state to make sure that local voices inform national policy between transparency and trust. And the need has never been stronger than now. We have over 55% saying that the media is somewhat or completely free to report and comment on news without censorship or interference by the government. This number has to go up. So as we launch today, let us all, because it's not just on the media, it's citizens as well, let us all commit ourselves to building a culture of participation, a culture of reflection, a culture even when we go into elections that we look critically and say, what is it that our government is saying? What is it that the opposition has? Critically, not just vote by sentiment. Let every Sierra Leonean feel.
Mama, BBC Media Action, Nadina Papa.
Governance not complete without the people. Inside democracy, all man forget words, for ask, for understand, and for take part. Now that way they build good governance.